how to save strokes off the tee box. You'll be amazed at how simple this one is. But hey, if this is our first time meeting, my name is John and this is Better Golf Academy. This is where we help you lower your scores without changing a single thing about your swing. It's all about strategy, course management, and the mental game. The first thing you'll need in this process is a general idea of how far your driver, 3-wood, and hybrids go, and if you have any other woods in there. So how far they go and the dispersion. It doesn't have to be exact, but what I mean by dispersion, just to level set, is the farthest left miss you have and the farthest right miss you have. What is that distance? For example, my driver on average carries 280 yards, and most of the shots are, within plus or minus 10 yards of that middle, maybe 15 yards. So I have a 30-yard shot dispersion for most of my shots. But then as, distribution and math and statistics and such, from my leftmost point to my rightmost point, that is 80 yards. So on any given drive, I can hit 40 yards to the right or 40 yards to the left. But at the end of the day, 95% of my shots goes within an 80-yard dispersion. Most of them being plus or minus 15 yards from where I'm aiming, and then some of them outside plus or minus 40 yards of where I'm aiming. So once you have that baseline, it becomes really simple to answer the question, should I hit driver or should I hit 3-wood or 5-wood or hybrid or go even lower in the club set? And here are the 2 rules of thumb. This is the takeaway of this video. The first one is, if you're standing on the tee box, you're looking down the fairway, you got your driver and your 3-wood, you're going to ask yourself, is there 80 yards between hazards? Like whether that be out of bounds or water. This is like the thing you're trying to avoid the most because they are just straight up, obviously, waste of strokes. If you hit it in the water, that's a +1 already. If you hit it OB, you're teeing it up again. That's pretty much 2 strokes added to your score. And so we want to avoid penalties at all costs. And so for me, my distribution is I'm going to go on Google Earth and I'm going to see, okay, for this hole, I'm going to do my research before. I'm going to say, okay, 280 yards from the tees. Do I have 80 yards of clearance? Because I'm going to 95% of the time avoid getting a penalty. If the answer is yes, I have 80 yards of leeway of margin, then it's a no-brainer. I'm going to hit driver. There's literally no point of not hitting driver. Maybe the only argument I can think of is if I hit driver, I will have 30 yards into the hole. And if I hit 3-wood, I'll have 60 yards into the hole. And I would rather have 60 than 30. 95+% of the time, if you have that 80-yard margin of gap, then pull out driver. So after you've decided that, yes, you have enough margin of error to pull out driver, the second thing you're going to think about, the second thing you're going to consider is, do I have any obstacles that could potentially add 1 stroke to this hole? And what I mean by that is, do I have a fairway bunker that has a really tall lip? If I go in it, I have to punch out. Are the fairways tree lined? So yes, there is 80 yards margin of error, but if I hit it, 40 yards to the right or 40 yards to the left, I'm not out of bounds, or I'm not in water, but I am in trees and I got to punch out, or I'm in tall grass and I got to punch out, or maybe your course has, maybe you're in the fairway even, but the way the trees are set up, you can't hit to the green, and so you're going to have to either do like a draw around a tree, or maybe you're just going to have to punch it up the fairway. So that's the second step. And for that, this is personal preference, but I like to give myself 40 yards. So step 1, you determine there is enough yardage to pull out driver. Step 2, you look down the fairway and say, okay, like on the right side, I have a fairway bunker. I'm not too worried about going in it. And if I do, it's not that tall of a lip. I'm going to pull out driver still. And on the left side, there's a tree with a canopy. And so for me, I'm comfortable with a 40-yard gap there in the middle, where if it's 40 yards or more, then I'm still going to keep my driver. I'm still going to try to, either hit that piece of strip of grass between the bunker and the canopy, or I'm going to try to shoot the gap, basically challenge the bunker, challenge the canopy. Now, I know this sounds really simple, but chances are, if you're anything like me, you're not doing any of this research before you go out on the course, because most of the time you're playing casual game. But there has been this super big thorn in my side. We have a golf course down the street here called Lake Wilderness Golf Course. It's super short. It's a par 70, almost like executive course. There are, par 5s and such, but the total yardage of this course is 5,200 yards, and I have not broken 80 there. I just learned this little algorithm from Scott Fawcett, and the gears started going. I got really curious, like, could I apply these 2 steps to the holes at Lake Wilderness, and what would the recommendation be? Am I hitting driver on the right holes? Am I not hitting the driver on the correct holes? I was really surprised at what I found, and I want to share that with you right now. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is hole 5 of Lake Wilderness Golf Course. This hole is a par 4. It is 240 yards. And when I'm standing on the tee box, the decision in my head is always like, should I hit 3-wood and try to go for the green? Or should I lay up, say, 180 yards out and leave 60 yards in? And by the way, I don't even know how I picked 180 and 60. Like, is 180 and 60 the correct yardage? Or should I do 140, 100? Like, how do I approach this? And so with this system, let's check it out, okay? So like I mentioned, with my driver, I carry it 280 yards with a 80-yard dispersion, 40 yards each way. For my 3-wood, it's about 240 with about a 60-yard dispersion, so 30 yards each way. And by the way, this hits on a misnomer that 3-wood is more accurate. According to Scott Fawcett, the margin of error is the same in terms of degrees. It's just like that space shuttle thing, right? Like if you're 1 inch off when you reach the moon, you're going to miss the moon, right? And so same thing with the driver and 3-wood. In terms of degrees, it's the same because your swing is pretty much the same. I mean, sure, the 3-wood is a little shorter, but still, the margin of error is the same. It's just that if you project that shot 40 more yards, obviously when you get to the end of the triangle here in your shot pattern, it's going to be a wider dispersion. So my 3-wood goes 240 yards with a 60-yard margin of error, plus or minus 30 yards. And for this hole 5 at Lake Wilderness, here's the tee box right here. From this point to the green, it's 240 yards. And I've mapped out, okay, rule number 1, hazards, right? So if you go any left of this, you're out of bounds into the houses. If you go any right of this, you're out of bounds into the houses. And so I've got a 204-foot margin, which is roughly 70 yards. And with my 3-wood, I would definitely be within that. So on this hole 5, next time I play, I should definitely pull out 3-wood. Now the next hole number 6, it's a little bit longer. I believe this one is 290 yards. And so the green is right here. The tee box is right here. The green is up here, 290 yards. Do I have enough clearance to hit driver? So what I'm going to do here is, by the way, this is Google Earth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point here on the left side. If you go any left of this, you're out of bounds. And I'm going to see, okay, what's the distance between this and this water here, which is the next fairway over, by the way? It's less than 200 feet. Which is definitely less than 70 yards. And so 2 takeaways here. 1, if I hit driver on this hole, I definitely should not aim straight to the green because that's definitely not enough clearance. I mean, if I look here, even though I can reach this green, if I aim to the middle of the green, there's only a 15-yard margin of error here. And more often than not, I'm going to hit it out of here. So if I do decide to go driver for any reason, that's fine. I just have to live with the numbers, right? And I need to aim out here to the right. I can't aim for the green because I'm going to hit it out of bounds half of the time, which is interesting too, because if I'm standing on the box here, I got to aim for these trees, and I'm not sure if I can clear these trees or not, but I got to aim for these trees. So what is the right strategy here for hole number 6? It's 290 yards. Should I go 190, leave 100 in? Should I hit a hybrid? My hybrid goes about 220 yards. And so if I map it here from the tee box, let me clear this measurement. If I map this tee box to out here, let's do some math. 220 times 3 is 660-ish. So the hybrid is going to go about this far. And next I want to know how much clearance do I have. So let's go from here to here. It's a 33, let's call it 36 yard clearance, which gives me 18 yards. And that is just not, I'm not comfortable with that, right? If I need 80 yards for my driver and 60 yards for my 3-wood, then for my hybrid, I'm looking at about 40 yards minimum. And this is just not enough. No wonder I hit it out of bounds last time. So I'm just going to keep working my way back until I'm working with a margin that I do like from this part of the fairway to this part of the fairway. Again, 33-ish yards, 34-yard clearance. It is the fattest part of the fairway, so that naturally lets me think like, oh, is this, should I just go for that part of the fairway? And let me see. Let me measure from here to here about. That is 470-ish feet. It's about 160 yards. 160 times 3 is 480. Okay, so 480. This is 160 right here, which is an 8-iron. So next time I play this hole, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit an 8-iron here, and I will have 130 yards in, which is a pitching wedge. If I want to get a little bit closer, sure, I can maybe go plus 10 yards, but then I'll have a gap wedge in. And for me, a gap wedge versus a pitching wedge, very small difference. I don't know about you, but I was never super intentional on the tee box about when to hit driver or when to hit 3-wood or hybrid or something lower. But with this algorithm, I feel super confident given my dispersion patterns, my numbers, that I will hit the fairway 95% of the time. And I hope this little algorithm from Scott Fawcett of Decade Golf can help you as well. It can help you decide when to pull out driver, when to pull out 3-wood. I really like that this approach is data driven and it's just not pulling things out of thin air. Like you're just looking down the fairway and you're like, oh yeah, that looks like a 3-wood kind of hole, because that's how I've been approaching things. And so when I go to the PAT, which is in 2 weeks, by the way, I'm definitely going to do all the research for the holes, and I'm going to know already which holes to pull out driver or some other club. And so I hope this has been helpful for you. It's definitely been helpful for me. If you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing for more golf content to help you lower your scores without changing a single thing about your swing. And if you want to say hello, go to bettergolfacademy.com/hello. We'll promise to get back to you. Make it a great day. Stay awesome, and bye for now.